I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons first. Thank you so much to my Bibliospren, Bibliohowlers, Bibliomancer, and my new Bibliomancer, Chris. Thank you so much for supporting my hobby and passion even more. Hi everyone, Patrick here. Welcome to another episode of SFF Spotlight, and today it will be episode number 24. And because I've been doing SFF Spotlight once every 2 weeks, that means it's almost a year. It's almost a year of doing SFF Spotlight. I think if I remember correctly, next month in April, it will be the 1 year anniversary of SFF Spotlight. And I'm really glad that this has become a series of videos that many of you are looking forward to. I'm truly grateful, and I will always try my best to keep all of you updated regarding what's going on in adult science fiction and fantasy. As always, if you are new to this series of videos on my channel, this is a series of videos where I talk about new book news, new cover reveals, new special editions, and new noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And like always, there are more than 20 topics to talk about in today's episode. Every time I thought there would be less than 20 topics to talk about in my newest SFF Spotlight, I was constantly proven wrong. And yeah, I'm proven wrong again. And there are so many great things to talk about today. Let's start from the first one, and this is a big update on the Stormlight Archive Book 5. So Brandon Sanderson recently mentioned, he recently updated to us that the Stormlight Archive might receive a title change. Now, this is not fully confirmed yet, but the title, the original title, Knights of Wind and Truth, the Knights of Wind and Truth might be replaced into Wind and Truth. Now, I'm not too much of a fan of the title Wind and Truth. I feel like it's too bland for a title in the Stormlight Archive, but also the Knights of Wind and Truth is such a mouthful and kinda awkward, so I have no idea. Maybe the Knights of Whispering Truth or something? I guess we'll find out what will end up being the final title. But other than an update on the title, Sanderson also revealed some stuff regarding to the story structure and the update going on with the Stormlight Archive 5, along with the concept art done by Petar Penev. Now, I do not want to dissect this art too much on today's video because it's a bit spoilery, but I have a feeling I know what's going on in this concept art. I think this is an incredible art. I think Petar Penev did an amazing job with it, and you can see that Dalinar is holding a copy of the Way of Kings, which I think somehow is illustrated as the Way of Kings leatherbound. Yeah, the Dragonsteel edition, and I think that is a nice touch. But yeah, I think many of you who are caught up with the series know what's going on inside this concept art. And yeah, the Stormlight Archive 5, Wind and Truth, or the Knights of Wind and Truth, is probably my most anticipated release. And Sanderson also mentioned that there is a probability that the book might end up being about 450,000 up to 500,000 words, and I'm so excited. The book is currently planned to be released on I think November 2024, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, I'm so looking forward to reading it next year. And moving on to the next topic, this is kinda an update. I do not know whether to call this an update or not, but here's the thing. Ertac Altinoz, one of the official artists behind A Song of Ice and Fire, recently released his own fan art of the Winds of Winter cover art. Now, this is not the official cover art. He has said that this is his own fan art of the Winds of Winter, but every time Ertac Altinoz releases something like this, it usually means something will happen in A Song of Ice and Fire. So back then, when the final season of the Game of Thrones came out, I actually had to unfollow Ertac Altinoz on Instagram because his prediction, I do not know whether to call this prediction or not, but every fan art that he released before the release date of the episodes actually came true. So there might be a possibility that, well, Ertac Altinoz releasing his own fan art of the Winds of Winter, it might mean that the Winds of Winter release date is coming soon. Might. Okay, because as I said, when it comes to Doors of Stone or the Winds of Winter, put every news with a grain of salt until it is confirmed by the publisher or the author. Maybe even better if it's confirmed by the publisher. Honestly speaking though, I never fault George R. R. Martin for taking his time with the Winds of Winter. Unlike Patrick Rothfuss, I think George Martin has been quite upfront about his status and slow down in writing the Winds of Winter, and he's a super busy man. Comparatively, we don't know much about Doors of Stone other than that one single page prologue of the Doors of Stone that Rothfuss released and the unreleased chapter that, well, you know, it's kind of like a scam now. I will not talk too much about the details regarding all the drama with the charity drama with Rothfuss. If you want to know more about it, if you want to stay updated about it, well, check out Jay's Captured Inwards recent video on this. I mean, if even Jay from Captured Inwards cannot defend Rothfuss, you know that things are really bad. Yeah, I agree with everything Jay said in his video. Everything. But yeah, back to topic. I really hope that The Winds of Winter will be released soon. I always said that The Winds of Winter will be released. I don't know about A Dream of Spring, but it is amazing that even though it's been 12 years since The Dance with Dragons came out, people are still this excited about the release of The Winds of Winter. It just goes to show just how important A Song of Ice and Fire is in the fantasy genre. Moving on to the next topic, Rachel Aaron just announced that she will be releasing a new book, a new series in the DFZ world. So the first series is Heartstrikers. That's a completed 5-book series. And then the second is a trilogy titled DFZ. I haven't read this one yet. And this one will be a continuation after what happened at the end of DFZ. But it will take place around, I think, new characters in a new storyline. The title of the series will be DFZ Changeling, and the first book is titled By a Silver Thread. The cover art or the cover reveal is done by Luissa Preissler. I think everything by Luissa, all of them turned out incredibly well, and it is the same for this cover art as well. I need to read the FZ as soon as I can. I really enjoyed reading Heartstrikers. I hope that some of you who are Rachel Aaron's fans will be thrilled with this news. For the next two topics, it will be about new book and new series published by Orbit Books. And the first one is Benedict Jacka's newest book. Benedict Jacka has mentioned that An Inheritance of Magic will be a new Dark Academia-inspired fantasy set in a world where anyone can use magic if they can afford the price. The release date for the first book in the trilogy will be October 2023. And this is what the author has to say. With the Alex Verus series complete, I decided for my next series to try something different. A story where the mundane and supernatural worlds were integrated through trade and where you could buy magical powers out of a catalog. I think many readers have mentioned that if you love the Dresden Files series, you will love Alex Verus as well. I haven't read Alex Verus, but I really enjoyed reading the Dresden Files. So I will be keeping an eye out on this newest book by him. Orbit Books also announced they have acquired a new debut fantasy by Amy Leow. This one is slated to be released on summer 2024, and this sounds exciting to me. The title of the trilogy is The False Goddess Trilogy, and it is supposedly an explosive new political epic fantasy, perfect for fans of the Bone Shard Daughter and the Jasmine Throne. And the story will center around Binsa. Binsa is a vessel for a goddess who dispenses both mercy and punishment within the city of Bakhtin. However, her reign is marked by a dangerous secret. Rather than the immortal deity she claims to carry, she actually holds a demon. Were the truth to come out, she would be killed by the very people she rules. You can find out the details regarding Benedict Jacka's and also Amy Leow's newest book in the links that I leave in the description down below. I think both of them sounds exciting for different reasons. And before I move on to the topic of special edition, the next topic will be about Leigh Bardugo's newest deal with Pan Macmillan. I think it is amazing. Leigh Bardugo just signed an 8-figures multi-million-dollar deals with Pan Macmillan across all imprints, across multiple imprints, sorry for that. But yeah, I think this is amazing. 8 figures, that is insane. I've read only 6 of Crows duology by her and I enjoyed that duology. I'm currently watching season 2 of Shadow and Bone. And if you're a fan of Leigh Bardugo, this just means we will be getting so many more works from Leigh Bardugo in the future. She has written for both young adult and adult fantasy readers, and yeah, I think it is amazing. Congratulations to Leigh Bardugo for this. Oh, and because I just talked about Shadow and Bone, I might as well mention this as my next topic, and this is for an anime. I don't know how many of you actually know this anime, but this anime is Gintama. Now, Gintama is one of the best anime out there. The anime and manga has been finished, but recently it is once again announced that Gintama spin-off will be back. Yeah, there will be a Gintama spin-off, and I am just super excited about this. Gintama, the anime, is truly fantastic. It has humor, amazing humor, parody, and also heart. It's an incredible manga series, and I'm just happy for this to be back. I hope that some of you actually know about Gintama and will be thrilled about this news as well. And you know what? Because I'm talking about anime right now, I might as well mention just one more topic about anime. I'm sorry, but I'm really passionate about this, and I promise I will be back to talking about books after this particular news. So Solo Leveling, one of my favorite manhwa, The release date for the anime adaptation has been confirmed to be winter 2024. I am super excited about this. I have no idea whether they will be capable of doing justice to the manhwa or not, but the teaser that is out already looks pretty good. I don't think it looks as amazing as the manhwa yet, but it is a teaser. And now, let's talk about special edition. And the first special edition I would like to talk about is about Eragon 20th Anniversary Edition. So Christopher Paolini just announced the 20th Anniversary Illustrated Edition of Eragon will be coming this November. It will feature fully colored cover art and also interior illustrations by Sidhart Chaturvedi. I think this special edition is looking absolutely fantastic just from the preview. And I'm not a fan of Eragon. I have mentioned that plenty of times. But this special edition, it must be hard to resist. It looks incredible. On top of that, Christopher Paolini also announced that Murtagh, a new book in the Alagacia worlds, and this is a standalone novel taking place 1 year after the end of Inheritance Cycle, will be published this year as well. The cover art is done by Jude, Pelencar. So if you are a fan of Eragon, if you are a fan of the Inheritance Cycle, now you know there is Murtagh. But I want to make it clear that even though I'm not a fan of Eragon, I think Eragon is the kind of book where it would be so much more likable if I had read it when I was much younger. I think that's really my thoughts on it. But I read it for the first time as an adult, and yeah, it just did not click with me. That being said, this news regarding a new standalone novel taking place after the end of the Inheritance Cycle hopefully will be an exciting news for many of you fans of the series. And of course, that special edition, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. If I'm a fan of the series, if I even liked Eragon, I will definitely get this illustrated edition. And the next special edition is about a Kickstarter campaign, and unlike usual, today's video will only features one Kickstarter campaign for special edition, and this one will be again for When Swords Fall Silent by Wraithmarked Creative. So the Kickstarter campaign for When Swords Fall Silent Anthology is above $60,000 right now, but at $100,000, Black Edges will be added to the book. And now this book features a cover art by Mansik Young, also 14 interior illustration by Felix Ortiz, and design by Sean King. It will also features colored and papers by Daniel Kamarudin. But this is not a typical book. After the Kickstarter ends and production is completed, 100% of all net profit from ebook and physical copy sales will be donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So in other words, this is getting a beautiful looking book for a great cause. I own one hardcover by Wraithmarked Creative, this one, Mother of Learning by Nobody 103, and this is considered just their standard edition, their standard hardback edition, and it already looks incredible. It feels so wonderful to read from this hardcover edition as well, as I mentioned in my Mother of Learning Arc 1 review. So yeah, if you find this When Swords Fall Silent Anthology looking like it will be something appealing to you, well, make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign. And for the next 4 news, all of them are by, of course, Broken Binding. There is no SFF Spotlight without Broken Binding, because Broken Binding constantly revealed a new special edition each week. I really don't know how many times they revealed a new special editions in a week, but yeah, it's a lot. So now I'm going to mention the 4 of them. The first one is for the Night Angel Nemesis by Brand Weeks, the newest book by Brand Weeks, coming in April. Yeah, this is the first book in the Kyler Chronicles, and it will take place after the Night Angel Trilogy, which I haven't read yet. But recently, the Broken Binding revealed their special edition for Night Angel Nemesis, and also the naked hardcover with an illustration by Katrina Paints. I think the naked hardback actually looks even better than the dust jacket. And this one is not exclusive to Broken Binding subs, so if you want to get a special edition for the Night Angel Nemesis, as long as it's still available, you can get it. And Broken Binding also announced they will be doing a special edition for the Malevolent 7 by Sebastian de Castel. I think this is a standalone fantasy novel. I do not know whether this is in the same world as the Great Coats or not. I do not think so. But yeah, this is a new book by Sebastian de Castel. I really enjoyed the Great Coats Quartet, especially the 3rd book, Saint's Blood. And it has been a while since I've read anything by Sebastian de Castel. I think the last time was actually the conclusion to the Great Coats, Tyrant's Throne, which I read, I think, in 2017. So yeah, it has been a while. But if you are a fan of Sebastian de Castel, well, take a look at this special edition by the Broken Binding. And for the next special edition, it will be about the Roots of Chaos duology by Samantha Shannon. So both the Broken Binding and Illumicrate have announced they will be reprinting their own special edition for the Roots of Chaos duology. sorry, not a duology. Right now it is a series. Yeah, but they will be reprinting the Roots of Chaos Special Edition, both of them. But these editions will be unsigned. I think this is a good idea though, because the original run for the special edition sold out very quickly, and so many people wanted this special edition and they didn't get a chance to get them. Make sure to check out the links I leave in the description down below regarding the details of this reprint. For the remaining two special editions to talk about, both of them will be / book news or cover reveals. Well, not the first one, because the first one is regarding Sons of Darkness by Gourav Mohanty. So for those of you who keep asking me how can you get a copy of Sons of Darkness, well, now it has been announced that Sons of Darkness will be published by Head of Zeus this July. Yeah, Sons of Darkness will be traditionally published. This is the first book in the Wrath of Murtagh series, and Sons of Darkness is my favorite debut of last year. My favorite fantasy debut of last year. I'm really happy for Gourav Mohanty. I hope this is the right decision. He has mentioned that this is the right decision for him to be traditionally published by Head of Zeus, and I'm excited for him. On top of that, the Broken Binding also announced that on the same date of the release, there will be a special edition for Sons of Darkness. That's on the 6th of July 2023. So you can pick, do you want the standard edition or the special edition by the Broken Binding for Sons of Darkness? But the cover art by Michaela Alcaino is just stunning. Love it so much. And of course, the book as well. And finally, the last special edition I would like to talk about. This is something special. And yeah, you might have seen this on my Twitter account yesterday. So this is the cover reveal for Jade Shards by Fonda. Just like the Jade Setter of Janloon, the cover art to Jade Shards is done by Charis Look, and once again, Charis Look did such an incredible job on this cover art, and I love that it matches the cover art and the cover design of the Jade Setter of Janloon. The general pre-order for Jade Shards will start on March 27 at 12 p.m. EST time zone. So yeah, make sure to mark that on your calendar if you're a fan of the Greenbone Saga series like I am. For those of you who don't know what Jade Shards is, well, Jade Shards is a collection of short stories taking place in the Greenbone Saga world. The 4 short stories included in this collection will be a prequel short story that delve into the personal histories of the Khal and Ait families. So there will be 4 short stories. The first one is The Witch and Her Friend. This is a prequel short story about Ait Mada. And then Not Only Blood, a short story about Khal Lan. Better Than Jade, a short story about Khal Hilo and Mike Wen. And lastly, Granddaughters Cormoran, a short story about Khal She, and it will also contain an introduction and story notes by Fonda Lee. I am obviously super pleased by this. I have actually pre-ordered myself a copy of Jade Shards, even though it is expensive, but this is the Greenbone Saga. Some books are just that special that you are willing to spend so much money on them, and the Greenbone Saga is one of the very few series where I'm willing to do that. I look forward to receiving my copy, and of course I look forward to reading this. Now, there is also one more big news. There is a giveaway for an advanced reading copy of Jade Shards. I'm now giving you the opportunity, the giveaway, so I hope that you are watching this. Yeah, this is the giveaway for the advanced reading copy of Jade Shards by Subterranean Press. But this is only available to US residents. Sorry, this is not up to me, this is up to Subterranean Press. So to enter this giveaway, mention why you would love to win the advanced reading copy of Jade Shards in the comment below. And if you have an Instagram or Twitter account, make sure to follow both Fonda Lee and Subterranean Press. That's it, that's the requirement for the giveaway. And again, this is only available to US residents. And I am so looking forward to reading Jade Shards, so excited. I love Untethered Sky, I love the Greenbone Saga series so much, and anything new in the Greenbone Saga, I will read them. And now let's move on to the next section of today's SFF Spotlight. Time to talk about new cover reveals. There are 7 cover reveals I would like to spotlight today, on top of Jade Shards that I just revealed earlier. And the first one is for the UK cover art of Thresh of the Emerald Sea. I like this cover art. I think the green could be bolder, the color green could be bolder rather than this pale, because it's Emerald Sea. But I like the design, I like the cover art. It is once again done by, I think, Sam Green, the same cover art who did all the UK cover art for Brandon Sanderson's book in the Cosmere, and this one will match, well, every under Sanderson's books. The release date for this one is the 4th of April 2023, so yeah, soon. Do note that this cover art is for the UK edition published by Gollancz, not the special edition published by Dragon Steel. And the next cover reveal is for Labyrinth of the Heart by M.A. Carrick. This is the 3rd and final book in the Rook and Roast, I think that's the title of the trilogy. Yeah, I think this is the third book in the Rook and Rose trilogy. Quite a lot of readers actually voice this trilogy as one of the most underrated fantasy trilogy, and I haven't started reading this series yet. Now that the series is coming to an end, I think this year, I really need to get around to reading this series as soon as I can. And the cover art is done by Necro13. It matches the previous two cover arts, and I always like a matching cover art and matching design. And moving on to the next one, the UK cover art for He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan has been revealed as well. For this UK edition, the cover art is done by Lucy Scholes, the same artist who did the UK cover art for She Who Became the Sun. And yes, He Who Drowned the World is the sequel to She Who Became the Sun. And this will conclude the Radiant Emperor duology. I really enjoyed reading She Who Became the Sun. I really hope that this will be as good as She Who Became the Sun, or maybe even better. The first UK cover art features a dragon on the cover art, and this time it features a phoenix. I love it. I think it looks really nice. It will look really nice on the bookshelf. And He Who Drowned the World will be released on August 2023. And the next cover reveal will be for another book being released on August 23, and this is for a new book by Jacqueline Carey. This is Cassiel's Servant. I think this is a book taking place in the Cassiel's Legacy world. I haven't started reading Cassiel Legacy series yet, but I've tried reading Jacqueline Carey prose just as a sample on the first book of the series, and I am impressed. I love her prose, and I think this might be suitable for me whenever I can get around to it. On the official blurb, it is mentioned that Cassiel's Servant is a retelling of Cassiel's Dart from a different POV character. We still have two more cover reveals to talk about, and the next one is for The Warded Man by Peter V. Brett. So The Warded Man, or The Painted Man, is Peter V. Brett's debut fantasy, and I really enjoy The Painted Man. I think it is still the best book by Peter V. Brett. Yeah, I have mixed feelings regarding Peter V. Brett's books, but this new cover art is done by Dominic Broniak, which has done many incredible artworks for Peter V. Brett. I think this new cover art is a much better cover art than what has graced the Demon Cycle before, and Peter V. Brett has mentioned all books in the Demon Cycle series will receive a new cover art by Dominic Broniak. Zamil Akhtar has also revealed the cover art to the newest book in the Gunmetal God series. So this one is the third book in the Gunmetal God series, and this is not the final book in the series. But in my opinion, this is the best cover art of the Gunmetal Gods series so far. I think Meeblood did an amazing job with this cover art. Just take a look at this. It's such a great looking cover art, right? I haven't read anything by Zamil Akhtar yet. I own Lightblade and also Gunmetal Gods. Daniel Green has mentioned so many great things about Gunmetal Gods, and I look forward to diving into this series someday. And finally, the last cover reveal on today's episode will be for The Return of the Night by Gregory Kontasis. This is the first book in the Dance of Blood series, and the cover art is done by Meeblood. This book was originally published in Greek, and it has been translated by the author himself to English language. And this is a Greek mythology-inspired epic fantasy novel. I look forward to reading this one. I had the honor of revealing this cover art, I think last week. And so far, I think the receptions for this, whether in Greek or in English, have been very positive. I look forward to reading this as soon as I can. I think the book is on the way to me right now, but I could be wrong about that. And finally, moving on to the last section of today's SFF Spotlight video. As always, it is noteworthy release. I have only 3 books to spotlight today, and the first one is of course for The Way of Edan by Philip Chase. This is the first book in the Eden trilogy. I did a spoiler-free review for this book recently, and if you haven't got yourself a copy of The Way of Edan, now you can get yourself a copy. The book is out now, and I think it is great. I think if you love a blend of classic fantasy and modern fantasy, I think there's a good chance you will enjoy reading Philip Chase's debut novel. The book actually became a bestseller on Amazon. Yeah, I think that is impressive. I think it was in the military fantasy category, and I think it is well deserved. Well done, Philip Chase, and I wish you good luck on your debut novel. I look forward to reading the second book, The Prophet of Eden, as soon as possible. Oh, before I forget, there is another noteworthy release to mention, and that is Revenge by AC Cobble. Revenge is the sequel to Conspiracy, and it is the second book in the Warhide series. There were Kickstarter campaign for the first and the second book. The ebook release is live on Amazon now, so if you are a fan of the first book, Conspiracy, the sequel is out now. I look forward to reading this series, hopefully within this year. And after that, the next noteworthy release will be for We Dream of Gods by Devin, Madson. This is the fourth and final book in the Reborn Empire Quartet. The cover art is done by Nicolas Delort. I love the cover art of this series so much. I think Orbit did such a great job in hiring Nicolas Delort to do the cover art for the Reborn Empire Quartet. I love We Ride the Storm so much. I really enjoyed the second book. We like with that, but I haven't continued with the series yet. But now that the series is finally completed, I think it is time for me to read the series from the beginning, this time to its completion. Finally, the last noteworthy release to mention and the last topic of today's SFF Spotlight is for Black Talon by Jaime Castle and Andy Peloquin. This is the first book in Dragonblood Assassin Trilogy. I think it is a trilogy, but Andy Peloquin mentioned that this book, it contains everything that he loves in epic fantasy, and well, I must say that the cover art is what grabbed my interest. Look at that. It is hard to resist such a beautiful, such an epic cover art. I really need to get around to reading Andy Peloquin's books. I know that his Darkblade Assassin or his Darkblade series is such a massive series, but it's been gaining so much positive reception among readers who love assassins in epic fantasy. So that's the end of today's SFF Spotlight video. I know that's a lot of news to absorb. As always, every SFF Spotlight video, I try to include as many news as possible. So as I said, so many of you are constantly updated on what's going on in adult science fiction and fantasy. And for those of you who keep watching this, again, thank you so much for, well, keeping SFF Spotlight alive, because without you watching SFF Spotlight, there would be no point of me doing this. And I'm glad that this series of videos has resonated with a lot of viewers. I'm really glad for it. So yeah, do let me know what you think about today's SFF Spotlight video, which news excites you the most, and as always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.